spring break during my junior year of college was supposed to be forgettable. The kind of week you barely remember years later, blurred together with other breaks, other trips, other moments when life felt simple and temporary. At the time, I was 21 years old, convinced I understood the world well enough to navigate it safely, especially with friends I trusted. That confidence came from routine, from familiarity, from the belief that experience alone could protect us from things we didn't yet know existed. There were 4 of us: Kevin, Ali, Seb, and me. We'd been inseparable since freshman year, bound together by shared classes, shared stress, shared memories, and a growing tradition of escaping campus whenever we could afford it. Camping became our thing early on. It was cheap, freeing, and, felt adventurous without being reckless. Or at least, that's how we framed it in our minds. That semester, money was especially tight. Tuition, rent, food, everything had eaten through our savings. Paying for a campground felt like an unnecessary luxury, so we decided to go dispersed camping instead. Free land, no reservations, no crowds, just us and the mountains. I found the spot using one of those camping apps that lists unofficial sites people have used before. The reviews were sparse but positive, quiet, remote, beautiful. It was located outside Buena Vista, Colorado, down a Forest Service road that stretched deep into the wilderness. The description made it sound perfect, and that was enough for us. We loaded up the car early in the morning and started the drive. Spirits high, playlists loud, joking about how broke we all were. As the city faded behind us, replaced by mountains and endless trees, the energy shifted into something calmer. The road narrowed. Cell service vanished. We joked about it at first, waving our phones dramatically and declaring ourselves off. The grid. The Forest Service road went on much longer than we expected. Each turn seemed to pull us farther away from anything familiar. Trees pressed in closer, their branches forming a partial canopy overhead. The deeper we went, the quieter. Everything became no other vehicles, no signs of recent activity, just the sound of tires crunching against gravel and dirt. Eventually, we found the clearing. It sat beside what looked like a dried-up creek bed. The ground was uneven and cracked, scattered with smooth stones that hinted at water flowing through long ago. The clearing felt old in a way I can't quite explain. Not abandoned, just patient, waiting. We parked and stepped out, stretching after the drive. The air smelled clean and sharp, pine and dirt. No voices, no distant engines, no wind strong enough to move the trees. Just quiet. We didn't see another soul. No campsites nearby. No tire tracks. No fire rings. It felt untouched. Isolated in the best possible way. We decided immediately that this was the spot. Setting up camp was routine. We placed our tents roughly 15 feet apart, not in any deliberate formation. Each of us just chose a patch of ground that looked flat and free of rocks. The process felt automatic, muscle memory built from years of similar trips. There was nothing strange about it, nothing memorable. As the sun began to sink, the temperature dropped with it. We layered up, started a small fire, cracked open beers, and settled into the comfortable rhythm of conversation. We talked about classes, professors, upcoming exams, and the vague anxieties that come with being young and unsure. Nothing heavy. Nothing deep out above us. The stars came out in full force, unobstructed by city lights. The sky felt endless, Around 11, exhaustion caught up with us. The drive had been long, the day full. We put out the fire, zipped up our tents, and wished each other good night. One by one, we disappeared into our sleeping bags. Normally, camping nights are restless for me. I'm an incredibly light sleeper. Every sound wakes me. Every shift in temperature pulls me halfway out of sleep. I've accepted that about myself. It's just how I am. But that night was different. From the moment I closed my eyes, it was like everything shut off. No tossing, no half-dreams, no awareness of the cold or the forest around me. I slept deeply, heavily, completely. It felt unnatural, like being anesthetized. When I woke up, it was sudden, abrupt, no gradual drifting back to consciousness. Just awake. At first I couldn't place why my instincts were screaming at me. The light filtering through my tent fabric told me it was morning, but something felt wrong. The air felt wrong. I unzipped my tent, expecting to see the same clearing we'd fallen asleep in. Instead, I froze. The world in front of me didn't make sense. All 4 tents had been moved. They weren't where we'd left them. They weren't scattered or knocked over. They were arranged with precision, forming a perfect square around a small pile of stones placed deliberately at the center. For several seconds, I genuinely thought I was still dreaming. I stepped out of my tent slowly, heart pounding. My tent wasn't just shifted a little. It had been relocated 20 to 30 feet from where I knew it had been. I recognized the ground, the rocks, the uneven slope. This was not my original spot. I checked my tent instinctively. The stakes were still, fully driven into the ground. The fabric was intact. Inside, everything was exactly as I'd left it. Sleeping bag, backpack, phone still plugged into my portable. Charger, nothing was missing. Nothing was disturbed. That somehow made it worse. I called out to the others, my voice echoing slightly in the open space. Kevin emerged first. The look on his face told me everything. Confusion, disbelief, fear. I didn't need to explain. Ali and Seb followed seconds later, each reacting the same way. No laughter, no jokes, no denial. We all knew something was very wrong. We started asking questions. Immediately. Did anyone remember moving the tents? Did anyone wake up during the night? Did anyone hear anything? No one did. Ali then mentioned she'd had a dream. A vivid one. She described walking through a desert-like landscape while someone counted her steps out loud. Not shouted, not whispered, just counted. Calmly, methodically. Kevin's expression changed when she said that. He admitted he'd dreamed about marching in formation, like he was in the army, moving in sync with others. Seb and I didn't remember dreaming at all. The realization that 2 of us had experienced eerily similar dream themes sent a chill through the group. As we walked around the campsite, examining the ground more carefully, we found drag marks in the dirt. They led from each tent's original position toward where the tents now stood, but the marks stopped short, about 10 feet short. The final stretch had no disturbance at all. It looked like the tents had been dragged part way. Then lifted. In the center of the square sat the stone structure. 4 stones, balanced carefully on top of each other. It felt intentional, deliberate. Kevin stepped closer to examine it, and accidentally knocked it over. The stones clattered harmlessly to the ground. For a moment, nothing happened. Then we heard it. A low, distant, rumbling sound rolled through the forest. Deep, resonant, like massive stones grinding together underground. Not an earthquake. Not thunder. It sounded like something ancient, moving. Fear surged through me instantly. Without saying a word, all four of us began packing. There was no discussion, no debate. It was like a shared decision passed between us silently. We moved fast, hands shaking, adrenaline taking over. I could feel their fear, and I knew they felt mine. The connection between us felt wrong, invasive, like something else was present with us. We packed in under 5 minutes. No one looked back as we drove away. We've never talked about that night since, and I don't think we ever will.